Hi everyone, xAI just announced that they're releasing the Grok for Fast model. So it was September 19th. The claim is basically that it provides a state-of-the-art cost efficiency model. So they mean that they have a very strong model, reaching almost the power and the intelligence of GPT-5 high, while slashing the cost up to 25 times. So that's a big claim, and I would like to see if this holds up. Let's scroll through the press release. Basically, here we have Grok for Fast, which is rated a 60 intelligence score for a $40 cost. And here we have GPT-5, which is rated a 67 intelligence index with a $927 cost. Now we're going to run through a few tests to see if in practice Grok for Fast is as good as it claims to be. The first test we have is, well, a maze that we are trying to solve through a Python script. So basically we are asking the two models, GPT-5 and Grok for Fast, to solve this maze. We are asking the LLM to produce a Python code to go from this top left position to the bottom right position while avoiding the ones. Here is the prompt, and this is the maze we provide, and we are seeing if code that the LLM produces works or not. In terms of results, we have response time and success rate. So basically, Grok for Fast non-reasoning model has an average response time of 14 seconds, while GPT-5 has a response time of 16.7 seconds, so pretty close one to the other. And average success rate is also pretty close. So well, here on this first test, we cannot really tell the difference between the two models. So here we are, the second test. We can look at the prompt I gave the models, basically create a Python script that encrypts and decrypts the text file using the xAI's cipher. So, well, it means that I want to shift each of the letters with a given number. For example, if I shift hello world with a 3-character shift, it gives this message called Grok, and I want the LLMs to produce a Python code that can go from this message to this message and back. When we look at the results here, we see that, well, both models, GPT-5 and Grok, both models have a similar success rate, 85%. And here, well, contrary to the previous test, the average response time is about the same, 19 seconds for Grok for Fast, and the GPT-5 response is in, well, 17 seconds, so quite similar. So here, well, it's a tie for both models. Last but not least, we have the third test, the Tic-Tac-Toe test. Basically, we are asking the LLMs to develop a Tic-Tac-Toe game with a Python code. So here we can see the prompt to develop a Python class for a tic-tac-toe game where the AI plays as O against the human's X. We've run that about 20 times, and what we see here as for the results is that GPT-5 answer is on average 27 seconds, and I've passed 97% of the test. While with Grok for Fast non-reasoning model, we pass the test 92% of the time. The main takeaway from this last test is that while the response time is significantly smaller with GPT-5, because we have a 27-second response time with GPT-5, while we have an 11-second response time with Grok. So, well, having run these 3 different tests, we can definitely see that Grok has slightly less good performances, but the response time seems significantly smaller, except for the second test. For the other tests, the response time was way smaller for Grok than for GPT-5. What we are gonna look at now is the cost differences, because here as well we have a massive difference between these two models. We've seen that in terms of results, both Grok for Fast and GPT-5 are pretty much close. We have at least comparable performances with slightly less execution time for Grok for Fast, but where it changes significantly is the cost. Let me show you the cost of the API test I ran this week, and you'll see the real difference between these two models. Here we have my OpenAI API spending for this test. The total spend is about $5.21. Now let's move on to the API spending for Grok for Fast. Here we have the spending for Grok for Fast. It's another world, because in total I paid 10 cents. To carry out the same test, we find the 50 times ratio between Grok for Fast and GPT-5. This difference is really amazing, because we have comparable performances in terms of response time. Grok for Fast is slightly faster. Given these results, there isn't really any point of using the GPT-5 endpoint when you can use the Grok for Fast one. Same performance, less response time, and 50 times less costly. So, well, from now on, you know which side to go if you want a solid model, good performances, and a cost, well, so low you don't care about how many API calls you're making. Thank you for following this test with me. I'm gonna run similar tests with other models and keep you updated on AI news. You can follow me on YouTube as well as on X. See you in the next one.